Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on the Morning Drive live on ECWA Television Africa. My name is Magdalene Azal. And if you have been watching Equa TV Africa, or if you are our follower on our social media handles, or you know someone that watches or follows us, you definitely know what went on previous week before now. And then yes, one of us actually went to rest with the Lord. May her soul rest in peace. And the house, the family is a little bit under it, but we thank God because in his word he says we should give thanks to him in all situations. And this is actually the time God get to know how we have the faith we have in him, because he has said it. And we always keep saying it, especially on this program, how we talk about how you should be positive and how to live a positive life. And this is actually the time we have to also practice what we always say. We know she is resting with the Lord, and we know that God knows everything, and he knows the reason why he had to take her at this moment, and we appreciate him for everything. And yes, on this note, I would like us to talk about what kind of life we are living, or living an impactful life, or living a life of value. Someone can be telling you, live a life of value, live an impactful life. You wouldn't know the weight on in it until when you are gone and people don't feel the impact in you. I mean, come and see the testimonies we received about our sister who has gone to rest with the Lord. So many impactful things she has done, and as a head of a program, everybody has a testimony to give about her, and then what she did even when she was alive. So as a person, as you are, wherever you are, what kind of life or what kind of testimonies do you want people to say about you? What kind of testimonies do you want to leave, or the legacy you want to leave? Are you someone who just wants to stay there, and then at the end people are saying, thank God self, he has gone, at least his family are going to rest? Or are you the person that has lived an impactful life, or is living an impactful life, that even sometimes not even dying? There are people who just maybe they move from one place to another already. The people he's leaving behind are missing him already, as if the person is gone, because of the kind of impactful life they are living, and the kind of lives they are adding values to. So you have to have a life of value. You have to value yourself first before you even think of living that life for people to even benefit from the value you have. And then oh, that is you impacting their own lives too. So you have to be deliberate about your life. All the topics we've been talking about, we talked about how to deal with your customers. We talked about how to go around solving solutions and all that, knowing your purpose in life, and which is one of the most paramount thing in life, knowing your purpose, knowing how to achieve it, and keeping track on your goals and all that. So if we keep saying all these things and you don't put it into practice, or you don't see any need for it, you have to be convinced by yourself. You have to be convinced within you about whatever somebody is telling you. If not, you are not going to move from that place. You just keep being there. So you have to be positive about life. You have to know that there are so many opportunities for you to impact other people's life. And one thing about people, and then you achieving something in life, it is not just about you alone, because so many people's lives are dependent on you at a point for you to make an impact. And if you don't try to work on yourself to get to where you're going to, then which means you are delaying other people's lives, or delaying other people's achievements. So if, as much as we want to do things for ourselves, or as much as we are doing things and we are sluggish, or we are not doing it the way we are supposed to do it, we should know that we are also delaying other people out there. So as we are living our lives, we should not just live it because this is my life. You should just live it because you also want to, God has placed you here for service. Because I think that if there's one thing about Joyce that I grabbed is, she was always talking about living a life of service, most times she would want to help other people, you know, achieve something or do something, you know. Sometimes it's not just even trying to do something for you. She can just give you something out of service. So, you know, if she didn't have, or if she didn't achieve all that at that point, she wouldn't have, you know, touched people's lives the way she was, the way she did. So please, it is morning drive, and you know what we talk about. We talk about businesses, what makes you, you know, go out, what motivates you, and all that. So I am trying to motivate you this morning to go out and then try and do something for yourself. If you don't need to go out, start something. If there's something you want to do, even if it has to do in your home, but it has to do with you or your achievement, start it now. The only way to start is actually to start. Okay, the only way to achieve something is actually to start. So if you want to achieve something, you have to start. And if you want to start, you have to start. So don't wait for somebody to come and tell you you need to start, or somebody needs to. There are people who actually would wait until when somebody says evil thing or bad thing about them before they would start saying, oh, really? Is this how somebody sees me? Then I have to work on myself. Good and fine. If you are even someone who even listens to what, you know, that kind of advice that people give you in a hard way, and you even worked on it, it is cool. And there are people, no matter what you tell them, they don't even want to stand up and do something for themselves. They just want to be there, and then already before you know it, depression will start coming, because all the words that people will get, the people will tell you, it will get to you, either you like it or not. It will get to you, but sometimes it is positive and sometimes it is negative. Just like the person who would want to wait until somebody says, look at you, you're not even making a use of your life, you are not adding value to anybody's life, or all the, you know, kind of insults, your insultive words that people have to give you before, you know, some people would stand up and say, okay, they want to do something for themselves. Don't be that kind of person. And even if, you know, you find yourself not doing well and people tell you to do something, just, you know, get up and do it and help yourself. Okay, help yourself. It is really, really important that you live a life that people, you know, will appreciate, a life that people would love. And some people, actually, the problem they have is the fact that they are scared of starting, and nobody knows it all. And then no matter how, you know, we talk about you planning, and then you strategizing, you having, you know, a pattern that you need to follow and all that, you cannot know exactly how it's going to be. You may have definitely a picture of how it's going to be, but you might not know it all. So it doesn't have to be that you are very sure of something. No, you don't have to be. I can remember I asked someone about they were getting married, and then I said, how did you know this person was the right person? And then the person was like, that you may not know it all, but it doesn't mean that it is not the good one. It is just, you know, you praying and then God convincing you. And then there are sometimes they feel like, even, you know, when God is there are things that are actually very clear because God is showing you, okay, this is it. But in your mind, you're still thinking, is this in the right thing? Is this in the right thing? It doesn't mean, as long as you are praying to God, it will work out. So even in businesses, or even if you want to start something, you may not know it all, or you may not know how it's going to go or how it's going to end, but you need to start it. You need to understand. And then as you're growing, that is why, you know, you learn and unlearn in the process of doing whatever you want to do in life. Because as you're growing, you go through some mistakes, you do some kind of things, you know, you take some risks that are not, you know, necessary. And when you go through all these things, you will get to learn how to avoid them the next time. So you don't get scared of, you know, the possibilities. You know, don't get scared of things that can possibly go wrong. Just be positive about it, and even when they come, as long as you have a positive mind, you have a way of, you know, dealing with them, and then you still move ahead. You have to know that in life you will always try to move ahead. Whatever happens, you have to move ahead. Whatever, you know, comes your way, you have to move ahead. So don't have limitations. Don't have, you know, a particular place that when, you know, something breaks you down, you stop there and then you don't move anymore. You have to be positive. You have to, you know, strive hard in doing, like, you know, things are not easy anywhere. I don't think there's a job, I don't think there's anything you would want to do, or a business you would want to do that is, as easy as, sometimes that you see some people doing it and you see how easy it is for them doing it. It is because, some of them is talent, some of them is, their creativity they put in it, and then some people is just like the gift they have in them to make these things look very easy. But it doesn't have to be like, when you see it and you want to do it, you should also learn it, and it is going to go a long way. So don't think, okay, because this person is doing, you have to also know what suits you also, so that you don't get too stretched on things that you probably not achieve. So you have to be realistic also when you're trying to do something. For the fact somebody is doing it and it's easy doesn't mean you can do it and it's going to be easy for you, but it doesn't mean also that you will stop. Okay, you should learn it until when you are convinced within you that, okay, probably this is not what suits you, then maybe you can switch or try to use other methods of winning those things, because everybody has its own method. I mean, when somebody is doing it like this, also bring your own creativity. And that's why we say, in business or whatever we do, we need creativity, because we can do same thing but we'll have different methods of doing it, so that we don't get frustrated in doing those things and then at the end we say they are not what we were thinking, or it is not a good business for you. At this point, I would like us to take our daily video, and then when we get back, I'll continue about being, living a life of value and impactful life.
My name is Sunday. Okay, yeah. This is what I do for the living to survive myself. So I do wake up around 7:30 to come to the shop and meet up with my base. So sometimes I used to come out, I will not get job, I will still keep on doing it, so that I'll make sure that I will not go out there and beg for anything, food, or beg for money. So this is what I do for my living to survive myself. This is what I wear clothes today is because of this work I'm doing. I eat is because of this work I'm doing. So I'm trying to encourage you guys out there to please find something doing so that you help out yourself. This is what I survive myself with for now, and I'm happy with the job. So sometimes I do go out there to buy materials. People, if any day I go out to buy material, maybe I bought this one now today 100 naira, maybe I go tomorrow, they will tell me it's 200, but I will still buy it. When I supply to my customers, they will complain that I'm going higher every day, but that is what the market give out there. So I'm trying to tell the government to help. Although me, I'm trying to help myself, not until I wait for the government. The hustle, they pay.
my brother, I believe you, the hustle truly they pay. And then you have heard him, this is a way he feels like, he would use and make impact in people's lives. He talked about his family members, how he uses, this business that he's doing to take care of his family and then also to take care of himself and to make positive, impact on people. Sometimes you don't have to, meet people and say, okay, this is take before you know that, okay, you're making, positive impact on people. There are days that there are people who will just see this young guy now in his shop, and then they will just admire the fact that he is doing something, and then them too would want to use their own time in learning or just investing themselves in things that they know can make them live a positive life. So truly what you need to do in life is for you to start something. You have to be positive. You have to be deliberate. You have to know that, you are living for a purpose. There are people who have given up hope. And no matter how you keep, talking, or, no matter how you keep, trying to influence their lives, it still doesn't go well. I have some people that I know that what we need. I can remember a friend saying this person needs prayers and then he needs help. And I felt so bad, how you can just have people who really need your help, but you just feel like you're limited in helping them. There are people who are really going through a lot, and then they just need friends and families who can just take them up. And if you are still a lucky person who is still in the right frame of mind, you have to do something for yourself before it gets to the time that you would need other people's help. Because trust me, people nowadays feel like, okay, everybody is going through a lot. I have a lot that I am also going through, and then putting your own on my own is going to be a problem. So that is why you see so many people are, just going about, and then it's more like they are just loose, people on the street for them to cause havoc, to cause some kind of things. But if you still are in the right place, try and do the right thing for yourself so that you won't be, going round and then causing nuisance in the society. And talking about how to make impact, some people's, just the way I talked about, some people's fear is that they are scared of starting because they don't know the risk in them. But trust me, if the Bible says you should ask and the Lord shall provide unto thee, he is definitely going to do it, because if you ask him, he's going to do it for you. So if you have something you want to start, you have to first of all go to the Lord in prayer, ask him for, there are people who feel like, okay, if they do it, they are being religious. Trust me, in the era we are now, you need to know where you are. You need to know where you stand in everything. Like in everything, you have to commit it to God in prayer. I have okay, let me talk about my sister now, who I don't think there's anything at all she does without, mentioning Jesus, or, just mentioning God's name in it, because she just feels like there is nothing at all that she can do, without the help of God. It has always been God. And then she feels like everything has to do with, God. And I pick from it, and I try to, always try. There are some days that you just forget, maybe something happens, and then you feel like, it's you that did it, forgetting the fact that actually it was somebody you've been praying for and then praying to, and he made that thing happen. So we should always ask for the wisdom of God in everything we do. And definitely what we want to achieve, we will definitely achieve it. Do not have fear, or do not allow fear to override you. Even though in some context, fear is actually important because it protects you from danger, definitely. But there are some fears that, that are overwhelming. And then there are some fears, like there are some people who have this kind of extra fear in them that it makes them not to even move from the particular place they are. It makes them not to do anything impactful in their lives because they are already, scared of this, scared of that, and then it is making them bottle up in a place and then making them not to move. There are people who, if you are in Jaws, probably the only way you can succeed is you going out of Jaws, because of the kind of things you know you can do, and then your market probably is not in Jaws, but they are so scared of going somewhere else, because one thing is that they don't know the place, another thing is that they don't know the people, and then they don't know how it's going to work out for them. What if, and then it makes them stay in one place without moving, and at the end they get depressed because of so many things they get to hear from people telling them you are not you can't amount to anything, you are this, you are that, which brings you down. We have heard so many people breaking down, especially recently. You just sit down and hear about people dying out of depression, mental illnesses and all that. We need to find a way to help ourselves, because mental illness is actually very, very much existing now, because you can hear about people dying like almost all the time due to mental illnesses and all that. So you have to push yourself to do better for yourself. I'm not saying all of them who had is because they were not doing something for themselves, but it is most times you thinking this is what you want to achieve, but you find yourself not achieving it, and then you find yourself hearing a lot of things that people are saying to you, and then sometimes again seeing other people excelling, and then you are not excelling. It is tricky. It plays with your mind to the extent that it puts you down. So you have to be deliberate about doing some things for yourself. Okay, this is all I have for you on the morning drive today. And just stick to Equa Television Africa. We still have other interesting programs coming your way. Please, as you live your life, make sure you live a impactful life. Make sure you're living a life of value. Make sure that whatever you are leaving behind, is something legendary, something that people will still go back to, something that people will still keep talking about even as you are gone. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow by 8 a.m.